You have been taught your whole life that to care is to control. That love means worrying. That responsibility means managing everyone else. It's exhausting and it doesn't work. The let them theory flips the script, offering a radical and liberating alternative. Focus only on your own choices and let everyone else be responsible for theirs. The result is less conflict, more energy, and the authentic life you've been too busy to live. The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. Book summary in English. Introduction. Mel Robbins's The Let Them Theory is not just another self-help concept. It is a profound and liberating mental model that challenges one of the most fundamental and exhausting habits of the human experience: the compulsive need to control the actions, reactions, and opinions of others. Born from a viral moment on her podcast and social media, the theory resonated with millions because it addresses a universal source of anxiety, conflict, and personal stagnation. The premise is deceptively simple. Instead of trying to control, convince, or change other people, you simply let them. Let them be who they are. Let them make their own choices. Let them have their own reactions. Let them be responsible for their own emotions. This is not an act of passive resignation or indifference. It is an active, strategic, and deeply empowering decision to redirect your energy inward, focusing solely on what you can truly control: your own responses, your own boundaries, and your own life. This summary will deconstruct the let them theory into its core components, exploring the psychological underpinnings of our control habits, the step-by-step process of applying the theory, its practical applications across various life domains, relationships, work, family, and self-image, and the profound peace and personal power that results from its consistent practice. Part 1. The problem: the exhausting pursuit of control. Before we can understand the solution, we must first diagnose the problem. Robbins argues that much of our daily stress and unhappiness stems from a futile and unconscious investment of energy in other people's business. 1.1. The 3 circles of energy investment. Robbins presents a model for understanding where we focus our mental and emotional energy. Your circle of control. This is the smallest, most critical circle. It contains only your own thoughts, your beliefs, your actions, your responses, your boundaries, and your effort. This is your sole domain of command. Your circle of influence. This larger circle encompasses the people and situations you can affect but not control. You can inspire your children, support your partner, do great work for your boss, or set a positive example for a friend. However, the outcome is not guaranteed. Your influence is a suggestion, not a command. Your circle of concern, the no-control zone, this is the vastest circle, containing everything you worry about but have absolutely no control over. This includes other people's opinions, their life choices, their moods, the weather, traffic, the past, and the global economy. This is where most people spend the majority of their energy, leading to constant frustration and anxiety. The let them theory is the practice of consciously withdrawing all effort from the circle of concern and reallocating it to your circle of control. 1.2. The myths that keep us stuck. We engage in control behaviors because we believe certain myths. The myth of responsibility. If I don't manage their feelings/actions, things will fall apart, and it will be my fault. This is common in parenting, managing, and caregiving roles. The myth of connection. If they disagree with me or are upset with me, it means our relationship is broken. I must fix it by getting them to see my point of view. The myth of self-worth. Their approval, validation, or specific reaction is necessary for me to feel okay about myself. When they don't respond as we hope, we internalize it as a personal failure. These myths create a cycle. You attempt to control - you meet resistance - you feel frustrated and powerless - you try harder to control - the cycle intensifies. 1.3. The high cost of control. The pursuit of control extracts a heavy toll. Mental and emotional exhaustion. You are carrying a cognitive load that is not yours to bear. Resentment. You begin to resent the very people you are trying to help or manage because they are not complying with your often unspoken expectations. Strained relationships. Control feels like pressure and criticism to the recipient. It erodes trust and genuine connection, creating dynamics of parent-child or pursuer-distancer. Stifled personal growth. All the energy spent on others is energy not spent on your own goals, passions, and well-being. You put your life on hold while trying to curate someone else's. Part 2. The core principle, the anatomy of let them. The let them theory is a conscious shift from a reactive to a responsive mode of operating in the world. It is built on a foundation of acceptance and personal sovereignty. 2.1. What let them is not. To avoid misunderstanding, it is crucial to define what this theory is not. It is not about being passive, apathetic, or checked out of your relationships. It is not about being a doormat or tolerating disrespect, abuse, or the violation of your boundaries. It is not about abandoning your responsibilities as a parent, partner, or leader. It is not a justification for selfishness or a refusal to be a supportive, caring presence in the lives of others. 2.2. What let them is. Let them is an active, internal declaration of independence from the burden of other people's choices. It is about respecting the autonomy and agency of other adults. It is about taking 100% responsibility for your 50% of the relationship. It is about making conscious choices based on your values, rather than knee-jerk reactions based on someone else's behavior. It is the ultimate act of trust, trusting that others are capable of managing their own lives and learning their own lessons, and trusting that you are capable of handling the outcome, whatever it may be. 2.3. The two-part formula. The application of the theory can be broken down into a simple, two-part mental process. The acknowledgement. Internally state the reality of the situation. My friend is not texting me back. My colleague is taking credit for my work. My adult son is making a financial decision I disagree with. My partner is in a bad mood. The release. Follow the acknowledgement with the conscious decision to release control. I will let them not text back. I will let them take credit, and I will decide how I respond professionally. I will let him make his own choice. I will let them be in a bad mood. This process moves the locus of control from outside of you, trying to get them to change, to inside of you, deciding what you will do. Part 3. The application, putting let them into practice. The true power of the theory is revealed in its practical application. Here is how it works across different spheres of life. 3.1. In personal relationships, romantic, friends, family. This is often the most challenging and most rewarding area to apply the theory. Scenario: your partner is distracted and on their phone when you're trying to talk about your day. Old control pattern. You're always on your phone. Can you please just listen to me for once? This creates defensiveness and conflict. Let them approach, acknowledge. They are choosing to be on their phone right now. Release. I will let them be on their phone. Then, focus on your circle of control. You can choose to calmly say, I feel like I don't have your full attention, and it's important to me. I'm going to pause and would love to continue this conversation when you're available. Then disengage. You have communicated your needs without demanding their compliance. You let them choose their next action, which gives you valuable data about the relationship. Scenario: a friend consistently cancels plans at the last minute. Old control pattern. You lecture them on responsibility, or you seethe with resentment while continuing to make plans with them, hoping they'll change. Let them approach, acknowledge. This person is unreliable with plans. Release. I will let them be unreliable. Then act within your control. Stop investing high expectations in plans with them. You might decide to only invite them to low-stakes group events, or you might gently say, "I've noticed plans often change at the last minute, and that doesn't work for me. Let's connect spontaneously when it works for both of us." You are not trying to change them. You are changing your response to them. Scenario: family members hold opposing political or lifestyle views. Old control pattern. Heated arguments, trying to convince them they are wrong, feeling tense and anxious during gatherings. Let them approach, acknowledge. They have different beliefs. Release. I will let them have their beliefs. Your circle of control? You can choose to change the subject. You can choose not to engage in debates. You can focus on the non-controversial aspects of your relationship. You protect your peace by letting them be who they are without needing their validation for who you are. 3.2. In the workplace. The let them theory is a powerful tool for managing stress, office politics, and professional relationships. Scenario: a coworker or boss takes credit for your idea. Old control pattern. Fume silently, complain to other colleagues, or confront them angrily. Let them approach, acknowledge. They are claiming credit for my work. Release. I will let them have that moment of credit. Then focus on your control. You can start documenting your ideas and contributions more formally. In the next meeting, you can say, "To build on the idea I shared with Sarah earlier." You can focus on building a reputation for integrity and reliability. You control your output and your professional narrative without getting bogged down in the pettiness of others. Scenario: your boss is a poor communicator or micromanager. Old control pattern. Resent the lack of autonomy, complain, or become passive-aggressive. Let them approach, acknowledge. My boss has a micromanaging style. Release. I will let them be a micromanager. Then focus on your control. You can become proactively communicative. Send detailed updates before they are asked for. Anticipate questions and answer them in advance. By controlling what you can, your own communication and professionalism, you often preempt the very behavior that triggers you. If it doesn't change, you have clear data to decide if this is the right environment for you. Scenario: you are not getting the recognition or promotion you believe you deserve. Old control pattern. Feel bitter, work harder while seething, or demand recognition. Let them approach, acknowledge. The company/management is not recognizing my contributions in the way I want. Release. I will let them not promote me. This frees you to take empowered action within your control. You can schedule a calm, data-driven conversation about your career path. You can update your resume and explore opportunities elsewhere. You stop waiting for external validation and become the driver of your own career. 3.3. In parenting, especially with older children and teens, this is where the myth of responsibility is strongest. Robbins clarifies that let them is not about neglect. It's about fostering resilience and capability. Scenario: your teenager refuses to wear a coat on a cold day. Old control pattern, a nagging battle. You'll catch a cold. Go get your coat. I'm not letting you leave without it. Let them approach, acknowledge. They are choosing not to wear a coat. Release. I will let them be cold. You can offer information once. It's 40 degrees outside. You might be cold without a jacket. But then you let natural consequences be the teacher. The consequence isn't you being the nag, it's them feeling chilly. This is how they learn to make informed decisions for themselves. Scenario: your child is procrastinating on a major school project. Old control pattern. You become their project manager, nagging, reminding, and ultimately helping so much it becomes your project. Let them approach, acknowledge. They are choosing to procrastinate. Release. I will let them face the consequence of that choice. You make yourself available as a resource, but you do not take ownership of their deadline. Letting them get a poor grade or have to face the teacher is a far more powerful lesson than sacrificing your peace to ensure they get an A. You are teaching them time management, not dependency. 3.4. With yourself and your self-image. The most profound application of the let them theory is internal. We often try to control our own feelings and thoughts, which leads to a secondary layer of suffering. Scenario: you feel anxious about a social event. Old control pattern: I shouldn't be anxious. What's wrong with me? I need to stop feeling this way. This increases the anxiety. Internal: let them approach, acknowledge. Anxiety is here. Release: I will let the anxiety be here. You stop fighting it. You make space for it. You say, okay, I feel anxious. That's just a feeling. It doesn't define me, and I can still go to the event. By letting the feeling exist without resistance, its power often diminishes. Scenario: you have a critical inner voice. Old control pattern: engage in a mental argument with the voice, trying to shout it down, which only gives it more energy. Internal: let them approach, acknowledge. A critical thought has arisen. Release: I will let that thought be there, and I will let it pass by like a cloud in the sky. You observe the thought without fusing with it. You don't have to believe it or obey it. You let it be, and you consciously choose to focus on a more compassionate or constructive thought. Part 4. The Advanced Toolkit: Boundaries, Communication, and Handling Resistance. Let them is simple, but it is not always easy. Applying it effectively requires skill, especially when faced with pushback. 4.1. Let them and boundaries are two sides of the same coin. A common misconception is that let them means having no boundaries. The opposite is true. Let them allows you to set clear, healthy boundaries because you are no longer trying to control the other person's behavior before it happens. The formula: I will let you make your choice, and based on that choice, I will my response. I will let you speak to me disrespectfully, and I will choose to end this conversation and leave the room. I will let you make a mess in the common areas, and I will choose to put your things in a box outside your door after one reminder. I will let you consistently miss deadlines, and I will choose to assign this project to someone else. The boundary is not about controlling them. It's about controlling your own response to their freely made choices. You are letting them be who they are, and you are showing them who you are and what you will tolerate in your space. For point 2, the art of let them communication. Your language must shift from controlling to declarative. Instead of, you need to be on time. Command: try. I start my meetings at 9 a.m. I'll let everyone get settled and begin with the agenda then. Statement of your process. Instead of, you have to stop being so negative. Demand for change. Try. I'm feeling drained by this conversation. I'm going to take a walk to clear my head. I'm happy to continue when we can focus on solutions. Statement of your action. This communication is clean, non-blaming, and rooted in your own experience and choices. 4.3. Handling the inevitable pushback. When you stop controlling, the system, your relationship, your family, your team will react. People are used to you playing a certain role. They may accuse you of being cold, uncaring, or selfish. This is a test. Be prepared for it. You can calmly respond with your new let them language. I care about you deeply. I'm also learning to respect your ability to handle your own challenges. I'm here if you'd like to talk about it. They may escalate their behavior to try to trigger your old controlling patterns. E.g., a teenager might procrastinate even more dramatically. This is the most critical time to hold the line. Stay calm. Re-acknowledge and release. Let the natural consequence happen. This is how the new, healthier dynamic is formed. You will feel guilt. The myth of responsibility will scream at you. This is where you must have a mantra. Their feelings are not my responsibility to manage. My responsibility is to act with love and integrity. Part 5. The transformation, the peace and power on the other side. Consistently applying the let them theory leads to a fundamental shift in your lived experience. 5.1. The return of your energy and focus. The single greatest benefit is the massive reclamation of mental and emotional energy. The energy once spent on worrying about, managing, and trying to change others is now available to you. You can channel it into your hobbies, your health, your career goals, and your personal growth. Your life begins to move forward because you are no longer anchored to other people's choices. 5.2. The deepening of authentic relationships. When you stop trying to control people, you create space for them to show up as their authentic selves. Relationships become based on genuine choice and mutual respect, not obligation and resentment. You attract people who want to be with you, not people who feel pressured to be a certain way for you. The connections that remain will be stronger and more real. 5.3. The cultivation of unshakable inner peace. Your emotional state becomes decoupled from the external world. Your boss's bad mood doesn't have to ruin your day. Your friend's cancellation doesn't have to spiral you into anxiety. Your partner's different opinion doesn't have to become a fight. You develop a stable inner core that remains calm amidst the chaos of other people's lives because you are no longer trying to manage that chaos. 5.4. The emergence of true personal power. Power is not about controlling others. It is about commanding yourself. The let them theory is the ultimate practice of self-command. You realize that you are the author of your life story, not a side character reacting to everyone else's plotlines. You make decisions from a place of values and integrity, not from a place of fear and reaction. This is the most profound power there is. Conclusion: an invitation to let go. Mel Robbins's The Let Them Theory is an invitation to lay down a burden you were never meant to carry. It is a call to end the silent, exhausting contract you've made with the world. The contract that says you are responsible for how other people feel, act, and think. This theory is a practice, a daily, sometimes hourly choice. You will not be perfect at it. You will find yourself slipping back into old control patterns, especially under stress. The work is to notice and gently guide yourself back to the question, is this in my control? By choosing to let them, you are not giving up. You are growing up. You are stepping into the mature, empowered, and peaceful life that is your birthright. You are finally choosing to let other people be who they are, so you can finally become who you are meant to be.